Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this train so you can build it in your Minecraft world. And I'll also be supplying the schematic for it in case you don't want to follow the whole tutorial for it and you just want to build it quickly. To start with, you'll want to place 2 blocks 1 block apart and then 2 upside down stairs in front of them. On top of those, place 2 pistons facing towards you, and then behind them place another 2 stairs. Come on either side and place down 2 stairs facing inwards, and then in the center add a top slab and a bottom slab. Finally, come onto the sides of the pistons and place 2 trapdoors and flick them upwards. These will be the bumpers for the tracks. So now we can place 2 bottom slabs in front of them and then start expanding and build tracks behind them. You can do these however long you want, as in theory when building this train you'd want it to extend a lot further so you can make a full track, but do this on both sides. Alternatively, you could also use stairs facing inwards, though I personally prefer the anvils, and you can easily get a load if you make a simple iron farm. In the center strip, place a mud slab, a bottom mud slab, every other block. In the same row as those, place 2 stairs facing inwards on either side, and repeat for every slab to create this border. After doing that, the track should look something like this, with the rails 1 block apart, and then every other block one of these beams going across. To start on the train itself, pillar up on 2 temporary blocks like that and remove the bottom one. And now, crouching down, you can place one of these grind zones, so that the circular bit or the square bit should be facing towards you when you're on the side of the tracks. Leave a gap of 1 block and then repeat the same thing. So now you have this. You can repeat this 2 more times right next to this one, creating a row of 3. Then leave a gap of 3 and add 1 more, just like this. So you should have something like this, with the back wheel being further back than the rest. This just needs to be repeated on the other side. To start adding a floor to the train, go to the back and add a strip of deep slate tile slabs going all the way along to the front, just like this, and then extend it by 1 extra block. Then, in the gaps in between these wheels, add in extra slabs, so that at the end you should get a shape kind of like this. At the front you can add 3 stairs, all so that they are facing towards the bumpers at the end. And then, come on each of these slabs that stick out and place 1 extra, leaving a gap on the 3 wide ones. In the gap where you left, add in some regular cobbled deep slate. To add a casing to the wheel so you don't have this ugly bit where it doesn't connect, add in some stairs and a slab to form a sort of arch. For the end ones, just do a slab facing backwards so you can see a bit of a wheel. At the front of the train, add 2 bottom slabs and then a row of 4 tough blocks. On each side, add a row of 4 upside down stone brick stairs. And on top of all of the stone brick stairs, add 4 of the tough blocks on each side. Finally, to complete the circle, or as close to the circle as you can get, add 8 stone brick stairs on top of those tough blocks, with a row of tough blocks in between. For the centerpiece, I used a lodestone in my design as there's a nice circular bit. However, you could use a dirt block and then an acacia log if you want, though personally I prefer to use the lodestone. On this lodestone or log if you're using it, place a glow item frame with a yellow stained glass pane. Finally, on each side, add an acacia trapdoor to surround it, and this forms a lamp at the front of your train. And if you want, you can replace that slab with a stair, but personally I'm going to go for the slab. For the chimney, go 1 block away from the front, and then add in a deep slate tile. And then you can surround this with trapdoors. On top of this, I use a lodestone, though as that is expensive, you could use another block. For example, more deep slate tiles. Or maybe also one of these blocks, which is the chiseled deep slate. Now you'll want to pillar up on 3 walls, and if you're doing this in survival, you'll need to use a temporary block to help. When you're up here, place 1 campfire, and then on the edges, place a trapdoor. Finally, flip all of the trapdoors up, and then place a slab on top. And this has to be a waxed copper slab, as otherwise it'll change and go green. It's time to move on to making the bottom area more detailed, so start by going over the front wheels and placing 2 smooth deep slate stairs. Now you can add in some acacia trapdoors facing like this, towards the centre. And I did forget a stair there. For this strip here, start by placing a stair facing backwards, then add a slab behind it, and use 2 stairs to create this little dip. On top of the first stair, place a slab, and then coming off the tough block, place an acacia fence gate. And finally, add a lever and flick it on so it's facing towards the centre. And of course, repeat the same thing on the other side. When you're done, you should have something like this. For the section at the back where the driver would go, start by using grey concrete to make a 3x4 wall. Do the same on each of the sides, so that you end up with a box kind of like this. Now you can come in with 3 walls on each side at the back, and then 1 chiseled deep slate on top of each of those. For the final thing on this back face, place 2 pistons on each of the wheels, and then open up a window hole there, with a lever facing up, and then 3 slabs with 3 trapdoors on top. Just like this, make a little window. And then you can place a white stained glass pane for this foggy window effect. For the final window bit, place another white stained glass pane at the front, and then on top of it, place another block of grey concrete and 2 spruce trapdoors on either side. And finally, for the roof shape, add another grey concrete at the back in line with that. For the entrance, start by clearing a 2x1 hole on one of the sides, and coming off the cobbled deep slate block at the bottom, place an iron trapdoor. Diagonally opposite the top, add 2 deep slate walls with an acacia fence gate in between. And then at foot level, or eye level when you're on the trapdoor, add 2 iron bars on either side, just like this. Complete it by coming inside and placing a door like this, so when you've placed it, it's open, then you can close it. This will mean that no zombies can break it down, or will try to come in. On the other side that you haven't done anything to, start by placing 2 levers, with 1 gap in between nearest to the back. Then add an iron bar in between. On the other side nearest to the front, start by adding a detector, a daylight detector in line with the top lever, the wall below, and finally a trapdoor below that. Starting from the back here, place a top slab coming off each of these chiseled deep slate blocks, and then extend them out by 1 block to either side. On top of them, place another slab, and then make a slab slope like this, by gradually increasing by 1 slab. And then repeat this same shape on the front too, just like this. Finally, complete the roof by adding slabs in between. And of course, all of this has to be waxed to stop it from aging any further. Finally, on the roof, add trapdoors on all of the bottom's top slabs, where you can place them without there being a gap. To complete the backside, add 2 walls on top of each of the pistons, with 2 iron trapdoors on top. And that is the exterior of the train all done. To start with, place a spruce trapdoor on this block here, and then remove the 2 blocks that are behind it. Then place an acacia trapdoor on the back, and then open them both up. Behind the acacia trapdoor, add 1 campfire, then close it up. For the roof, in line with this trapdoor and 1 block above it, place a strip of acacia logs, and then in between add some stone slabs. In the corner opposite the door, add a cartography table, and then next to it an iron trapdoor. Coming off the cartography table, add a stone brick stair, and then next to that a lectern. Jump up and place a spruce trapdoor and open it, then add a brewing stand on top of a stair, a lever on top of the trapdoor, and finally a tripwire hook next to the brewing stand. And that is your interior. It's pretty cramped, but it suits the purpose. With that, the train is fully complete. I hope you enjoyed this build tutorial, and if you want to see more like this, then consider subscribing and maybe leave a like so more people can find this. This is also my first tutorial video for a build, so consider leaving suggestions and improvements in the comments down below. But anyway, thank you for watching and goodbye.